My name is Terrence Hartnett, and last summer I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And as you can tell, it was the first bad thing that's ever happened to me. In my 32 years of straight, white, handsome living, it was the first little road bump. My life was easy before the cancer, and people can usually tell that right when they meet me. Usually when people meet me, they ask me if I'm rich. They assume that I'm rich just because of the way I look and talk and act and dress and the shape of my head. Which is square, and that's a rich shape for a head to be, isn't it? There is financial information stored in the corners of the head, isn't there? We all know the head. But I'm not rich. I'm not rich. For your information, I've got 3 brothers, and all 4 of us proudly attended public golf courses. Okay? So don't go judging people. My life before the cancer was easy, especially the year before I got cancer. I got cancer in 2021, and the year before that was 2020. Remember? And that was an easy year for me because I'm a restaurant worker, and they laid me off of my restaurant job, and I used the unemployment benefit to buy a van and put a bed in the back of it and travel around the country, going to national parks and hiking. It was a very easy life. To give you an idea of how easy it was, my hero for the year of 2020 was Matthew McConaughey. You know McConaughey here? Yeah? I love Matthew McConaughey. I love him. I love him so much that I can spell his last name. Yeah. McConaughey. Yeah, because you can't spell McConaughey without hey. 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 He always does that, right? He licks his lips. That's his move. And I found out why he licks his lips. I read his book. I found out why he licks his lips. He's always licking his lips because from a young age, Matthew McConaughey's lips have been delicious. And you'd have a lick if they were right there, wouldn't you? If they were right there, you'd have a lick. It tastes like beer and charisma. Wouldn't you lick them? Delicious. McConaughey's book is called Green Lights. It's the story of his life and career. And the moral of Green Lights is that if you just keep going and you don't give up, you can do anything. And I think that that's really good advice for anybody who is Matthew McConaughey. It might as well be a book like How I Earned $1 Billion Using Only This Ball by LeBron James, you know? In the first chapter of the book, Matthew McConaughey writes this ridiculous sentence. He writes, "I believe that the universe is conspiring to make me happy." Don't you fucking hate this guy? Don't you hate me for liking this guy? I mean, come on. Because you hate that theory. You want to disprove that theory that McConaughey has, that the universe is conspiring to make him personally, specifically happy. The problem is, you have no evidence to the contrary, okay? Here's an example from his book to back up my point. This is how McConaughey broke into the industry as an actor. So, McConaughey was an aspiring actor living in Austin, Texas. And if you know anything about the States, you know that he was living in the wrong fucking city, first of all. And he's getting drunk in Austin, Texas. And he's at a bar getting drunk. And who's at the bar but Richard Linklater, filmmaker Richard Linklater, who made the film Dazed and Confused. He made it in Austin. And Linklater loves McConaughey's vibe. And to be fair, we all would have, you know? He loves his vibe, and so he decides to put McConaughey in his movie, Dazed and Confused. He lets McConaughey improvise his first line in his first movie, his first role as an actor. And that line was, "All right, all right, all right." This motherfucker. The universe is conspiring to make him happy, okay? And in 2020, I felt as though the universe was conspiring to make me happy. I had this van, I was hiking, I was in the mountains, I was visiting friends, I was posting on Instagram. And I know it was 2020, so there was somebody at home, sick, or out of work, and they were looking at my Instagram of like mountains and a lake and a desert, and they were like, man, I wish this guy would get fucking cancer. Cut to June of 2021. I step out of the shower, and I notice that my testicle had become enlarged. Everyone always wants to know